Good morning, everybody. Well, I am finally getting round to getting everything put in Netty, ready for my little trip tomorrow. And yes, I know, I've seen the forecast and I've had so many people messaging me overnight saying, have you seen the forecast for the weekend? Are you still going? Do you think it's safe to go? Do you think it's wise to go? Yeah. The thing is, we're in the motorhome. We're not going off grid. We're going to be on sites anyway. So, we've got hookup. We're going to be warm. We've got cooking facilities. We won't be warm, granted, if the power supply goes to the site. But what are the chances of that? Gosh, I shouldn't have said that. Right, please pray the power supply does not go to the site, because then we're going to be freaking freezing. What I've actually done is yesterday I went to Argos and I've bought a bigger oil filled radiator. I did have a little one, but I thought, if it's going to go really cold like they're predicting, I wanted something I could leave on low overnight. And the one that I've got, to be honest, we were trying to work out where it even came from, and I think it was probably with something that I've bought, one of my projects. It could have even been Tilly, my little micro caravan. Not 100% sure, but I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving it on overnight, because I've actually had that in the past when I was in my last motorhome and I had a little oil filled radiator and it was quite old. Left it on low overnight, woke up to kind of like a strange burning smell and it was the oil filled radiator. It got very, very warm and hadn't cut out. So yeah, I've been up to Argos yesterday. I've picked a good decent size one up, so we're going to be all right through the night. I'm taking the electric blanket, we're taking hot water bottles, so yeah, we'll be fine. And funnily enough, yesterday I came in yesterday and it was reading -2 on my little thermometer in thermometer in Netty. And I thought, that was it. It did feel really cold, but there'd been no heating on at all. So I thought, okay, get the radiator on, it'll be fine. And I thought I'd better turn her over to see how she's going to start in like below freezing temperatures. Do you know what? Pulled the choke out and she's fired up first time. I mean, granted, she was a bit smelly, a bit smoky for about, say, 2 minutes. And then I gave her a little rev. She blasted some crappy stuff out. I don't know what it was. She was just a bit smoky. And then she was absolutely fine. No smoke, no smoke other than what should have been coming out, because she was still very cold. And yeah, I was quite impressed. Then later on, when I was going to pick the radiator up from Argos, went to start the car, and the car was more sluggish than Netty was. So I was quite pleased with that. So fingers crossed and touch wood and everything else, she's going to be all right. So yeah, jobs today. Finally sealed this skylight at long last. Now, the other night, because I've just been putting it off, that's me. I know things need doing, and I just put them off, and I thought, I've got to get it done before we go, because what's happening is, if the rain comes and it's dripping through this skylight, or depending on the angle of how she's parked, it's been kind of running under my new tongue and grooving on the ceiling and coming through this cupboard here and dripping down. So what I'd done was shoved a load of kitchen roll around the gap of the tongue and groove, if you like. Shoved a load of kitchen roll and a tea towel. And we had horrendous rain the other night. And then when I came in here, I was like, oh, it was yesterday morning, actually. Yeah, so when I came in yesterday morning, I was like, oh, it's all dry. There's there's no drips. And then I looked at the kitchen roll and the tea towel, and they were just solid. They were just like solid ice. So I was like, all right, so obviously she has been leaking. So yesterday I said, right, definitely got to get it all sealed up. So trying to find some clear plastic sheeting yesterday. This is me, left it to the last minute again. Went up to B&Q, went to a few other places, couldn't find any. So I had this bright idea. I thought, oh, I know, I've got loads of the vacuum, you know, the vacuum pack bags. So I thought, well, one of them will do, because that's quite thick, thick plastic, isn't it? So found my big bag with them all in, and the biggest one I could find was actually one that the thermal cover for my hot tub had come in a few years ago. So I thought, right, that's going to be fine. So yeah, putting this bag on yesterday. Then I run out of what I've actually held it on with the Gorilla Tape, the what's it called? Wet? Is it wet? No, it's not wet patch. I don't know. Patch and seal, that's it. And it's brilliant tape. So for anyone out there, if you've got any little leaks or anything, use the Gorilla patch and seal tape, because honestly it is absolutely superb. I've used it on quite a few places on the roof, and once that's on, you're not getting it back off. It's really, really good stuff. So yeah, thinking about it, I've stuck my bag on with it. I've got to get that off again. See, I don't think things through. Oh, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So yeah, what I've actually done is sealed all the bag with this tape, so no water whatsoever can seep under it or anything. But the only problem being, the bag itself has got all the instructions for the hot tub cover, because I couldn't peel it off, because it was like, I thought, if I'm going to attempt to peel this, it's going to rip the bag. So I've had to leave the instructions on. So as Evie Rose said, because I went, oh, it doesn't matter, it's up there, no one will see it. And she went, yeah, unless someone goes over with a drone. I was like, oh my God. But, you know, if it does the job for while I'm away, I don't really care. It's absolutely fine, because I'm not really going to be opening the skylight, I don't think, with how the weather's predicted. So yeah, that job's done. I've made a curtain last night for this back door, because I realised when we're in here of a night, I've got 2 windows here that weren't covered. So yeah, I've made this curtain, and this was actually from, just show you up front, look at that, a tablecloth from the charity shop for £1, and I've just I've just sort of made it a bit narrower, turned it over at the top to make a fancy bit, and it's all scalloped and all pretty. And I've just been up to Dunelm and got a curtain pole, and that was reduced. That was only £9, so that's going to go over the door there. So that's my job. First of all, I'm going to do that, and I've got some end stops for my taps in the bathroom, because obviously I've not done them, but I thought at least if I block the pipes off, I can use my water at least in the kitchen sink. So I'm hoping they fit. They do or they don't. So that's that done. What else have I got to do? Oh, I'm going to try and pad my seat out a little bit, because it's a little bit soft, and I thought if I'm going to be driving for quite a while, I want my bottom to be comfortable. So I'm going to do that, and then it's just finishing putting the rest of the stuff in then, clothes and that. So yeah, quite excited. Perfect. Well, perfect-ish. Do you know what? It will do. At least I'm not going to be thinking we're going to get some peeping Toms looking through the window. You never know. Do you know what? I always think, why do they put these? There's no way you can get a normal size screwdriver into those little retaining screws. So look at this. Look how cool cool this one is. That actually came with, I think it came with some doorknobs or something. And I was going to throw it away. And the amount of jobs that it's come in for. So I'm glad I didn't get rid of it now. Because all these little jobs where you can't get a big screwdriver in, that's perfect. Oh, I tell you what, with that radiator on, it's getting a bit toasty warm in here. I know you get warmer anyway, don't you, when you're doing like activities, as Evie keeps saying. It's different, isn't it, when you're just sort of like sat not doing anything. Oh yeah, I like that. Goes with that old granny theme. I think I could maybe make that a bit shorter though. I don't think. Oh, just tighten that a bit. Don't think I need that long, do I? Oh, hang on. Rookie error. Right. I can't believe I've done this. I've put my knob on and now I can't get my kitchen roll on and off. Oh, didn't think that through, look. Now I won't be able to get my kitchen roll off. For goodness sake. Right, might just have to make a little alteration. Oh, and if you're wondering what this bit is here as well, so because I haven't quite finished the ceiling because of where it was leaking, where the skylight was leaking, I didn't want to sort of like put all the like the trims here at the side and stuff in case I had to take it back off, and I am going to have to take a lot of it off anyway when I fit my new skylight here. So I've kind of just left it rough, but there was all just insulation here, but I thought I don't want to be looking at that. So this is actually just that thin cork on a roll, and I've just glued it on. But I thought, do you know what, it finishes it off for now. Not ideal, and I'm going to put some photographs on there. But yeah, that's another job because now I've got to work out what I'm gonna do here. Right. This is what I say, I don't think things through properly. Right, I think I'll just drop the kitchen roll holder down a little bit. That's probably going to be the easiest way of doing it. Right. Oh my God, it's just never ending. It's just constant work. I just want to go away. I want to go on holiday. Right, get these off. Yeah, only needs dropping down a little bit actually, that's not too bad. Yay! Right, so that's done. Now I'm going to cap these pipes off, and that's another job done. I'm actually done. I can't believe it. Finally, after what, 8 months, she's ready, yay! All right, there's still a few little things, but nothing major. She is now usable. She's warm because I've had that radiator on the thermostat while I've been working in here. And honestly, she's just getting so toasty, and then the thermostat's kicking off and staying off a good, the radiator's then staying off a good while. So at least I know she's retaining like a heat as well. So yeah, oh, do you know what, I'm made up. As I sit in here looking at her now, I absolutely love her. I just hope and pray I'm all right driving her tomorrow. I mean, I have been driving around, as you know, and I've been all right. The last time I drove her was when I then drove her into my car. But we'll let that one go. I'm not gonna sort of like, I'm not gonna let that stop me going off and having fun tomorrow. I will just avoid any cars, obviously. Oh, but yeah, she's done. So I'm just gonna go and get all my clothes, put my clothes in, and then I am gonna go and do a quick supermarket shop. So we've got enough for 2 days, because the first place that we're going to, once I'm on site, there isn't actually any supermarkets as such nearby, and into the town is about an hour's walk. It is a site I've stayed on before. Lovely walk, but I don't fancy carrying shopping back. There is a bus as well, so I said to Evie Rose, I said if the weather's too bad on Sunday, which is the day we're going to go into the town, I said we'll just get the bus or something. But yeah, going to go and get enough food for a couple of days, and then the next site that I stay on, there are a good few supermarkets, kind of. Well, I can go to one en route, and then there's one within walking distance as well, so be all right then for the next few days there. So yeah, the curtain, I can't believe the difference it makes. I'll show you in a minute. It's definitely looking very twee, shall we say. Obviously, with all my other projects, I've always had a theme, if you like, in mind. Like the last one, obviously Tilly, I knew I wanted to keep her all white and sort of like very bright because of her size. But with Nettie, I'm going to be honest, I've kind of done it. I've definitely done it on a budget. I've said this before. I've probably spent, I was working it out, I've spent around £460 renovating the inside of her, which I don't think is much considering the state she was in when I got her. If you want to pop over onto my Instagram, there's plenty of photographs there's plenty of photographs on there of how she looked, sort of like the day I bought her and the progress I've been making with her. So yeah, I've hardly spent that much, and I think the theme has just been cheap. That's the theme, because everything was either in the sale or it was sort of like bought from charity shops. The wallpaper, and obviously the tongue and groove, that was all new, but even all that was just like the cheap tongue and groove. The paint colours were all in the sale. The blinds were all in the sale. The flooring, I paid full price for the flooring, but even the flooring only come in at about, I think it was like £28, because I've only had to do a small amount. Obviously the foam for the seats, that was quite expensive, because that was, I think, about £105. But then what I've covered it with was just a pair of curtains from Dunelm in the sale, and I think they were like £22. So I've covered the 3 sofa bits and made these curtains for over the bed area as well. So I think I've done pretty good. And as you know, the wallpaper, well, you will know if you've been following my progress, my wallpaper on that wall was just samples from B&Q. I just sort of like frequented B&Q quite a bit getting samples because the wallpaper itself was about £30 odd a roll, and I thought, I'm not paying that, I need a little bit. So yeah, that's all done with samples. Anyway, I am gonna give you, I can't stop looking round. I'm like, oh, do you know what, tomorrow night, oh, I just can't wait to be on site, and she's all set up, and yeah, we're just getting the full use of her. It's one thing sort of like sat on the driveway, but tomorrow night's gonna definitely be the test. Unfortunately, I can't take Barnaby, which I'm a little bit sad about. For those of you who are new to the channel, Barnaby is my rabbit. He does tend to come away with me normally, but with him not long having his little operation, he's still not, I'm not going to say he's not back to normal, because he'll never be the same Barnaby, because obviously we've taken all his, like his, is it testosterone? It would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, we've taken his urges away from him, so I think he's still a little bit, he doesn't quite know. He doesn't know what's going on. And also I did think, if it is cold in the day, obviously I'm not going to be in here in the day, I'm going to be off doing my walking and stuff, and I don't really want to leave him in here on his own, because he doesn't know it either. He's not been in here yet, so it'll probably just upset him a little bit. So yeah, he's going to stay at home, and I'm just taking Molly with me, so that'll be good fun. And I've bought for Molly, as I've explained before, Molly does like being under duvets and things, so I've actually bought her own sleeping bag, which I thought this would be really good for her, because she can either just sleep on the top of it, if I can get it out. It's about the only sleeping bag I've ever had that can actually go back in its little case. But look, it's a little doggy sleeping bag. If you can see that, it's all like fleecy lined. Now, when I did buy it for her, it was only off Amazon, so it wasn't particularly dear. Oh, there's my glove attached to it. She wouldn't go in it, and we kept smelling it, and I said, I wonder if somebody else has bought it for their dog and sent it back for some reason. And we were thinking maybe it had a bit of doggy smell to it, but then I tried her again later on. I put it on my bed and thought, right, she'll go on it, go in it there, but she still wouldn't. She was just avoiding it. But it had a really strange, it wasn't an offensive smell, but there was just a bit of a funny smell, and it wasn't a doggy smell. I don't know if it was just what it's made of, but she didn't like it, so obviously I then had to wash it for her, and she goes in it now. So yeah, she's got her own sleeping bag, so that'll go on my bed, and she'll be, I'm not even going to try and get that back in, just go up there. So yeah, she'll be nice and toasty warm. I'm going to sleep on this bed. I'm going to make this into the double bed, and I'll sleep down here while Evie Rose is with me, and she's going to sleep on the overcab bed. And yeah, I don't know what else to tell you really, apart from, yeah, we're nearly going on our holiday. So I am going to obviously try and do lots of filming while I'm away, and film the journey, and yeah, just bore you all really. So you'll probably all be a couple of days behind me. But yeah, that's about it. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you have a little look around now, and then I am going to go off and get my holiday food. And there we are, piled everything up there for the time being. Still haven't done the curtains actually for the cab area, sort of, let me just show you, sort of them ones that go round the front, so I've still just got the old ones on there for now. All my pictures are glued to the wall, all my pot plants are glued on. What else have I done? Oh, I've put my carbon monoxide alarm on, that's a new one I've bought. Obviously have to lift the microwave and everything down, and all of those when we're driving. Ice cream van, really? These are the two cupboards I'm not using at present, because that's where I said it's been leaking in, so I've just shoved some paper in there just to see. Have I actually, I'll just wait till the ice cream van finishes. He's parked right outside my house, I think. But look at the curtain. Oh, and I've still got the door to do. You can see the door looks a bit crappy. So yeah, still got that to do. I will actually be able to scratch off a little bit more of my map as well. And what have I done in here? Oh, I've put, I did do the pipes, but I've put that little cloth round, just an offcut of my main curtain, just to tidy it up in there till I've got in there finished. Yeah, that's about it really. There's my radiator. Still got to board that bit. So like I say, there's still a few things that need doing, but she's ready to go. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and on the next video I'm hopefully going to be driving along to my destination. So on that note, goodbye for now.